recognize Mr. Alex Berenson to deliver his opening statement.
Senator Schmidt, committee members, thank you for giving me the chance to speak on this crucial topic. On August 28th, 2021, Twitter, as it was then called, permanently suspended my account, supposedly for violating its COVID-19 misinformation rules. The ban deprived me of my largest and most vital platform for my journalism at a time when many Americans were eager to hear what I had to say about COVID and the mRNA vaccines and viewed what I wrote millions of times a day. Twitter's decision was no accident. It came after a deliberate and relentless campaign by the Biden administration, as well as at least one senior Pfizer board member, to violate my First Amendment rights. Led by Andrew M. Slavitt, an official in the Biden White House, the administration began pressuring Twitter to silence me almost as soon as President Biden took office, with both public and private attacks on my reporting. Frontline and senior Twitter employees viewed what was happening to me with dismay. Going back to 2020, the company had previously defended my right to speak as third parties demanded I be censored because Twitter believed that it should be a place where free speech and debate were encouraged. Ultimately, at the time of my suspension, Twitter's top executives, including then Chief Executive Jack Dorsey, secretly believed the company should not have suspended me. But the Twitter lobbyists who faced the Biden administration's pressure most directly went around them to orchestrate my ban. In the words he wrote to another Twitter official just days before he silenced me, this lobbyist hoped, quote, to keep the target off our back. None of this is speculation. Thanks to internal emails and other documents that Twitter turned over to me before Elon Musk took over, and more documents that Musk voluntarily and graciously turned over after he bought the company, I have hard proof of everything I've just told you. In fact, after I sued Twitter in December 2021 over the ban, the company admitted I had not broken its rules and that my tweets, quote, should not have led to his suspension, my suspension. The company even reinstated me in July 2022. Again, that's before Elon bought Twitter. By then, though, I'd already suffered, and so had a lot of people who were depending on my reporting to help them think about COVID vaccines and COVID lockdowns. In losing my access to Twitter, I lost my best chance to offer Americans my dissenting views on the Biden administration's COVID vaccine mandates that the Supreme Court would later strike down. Federal District Judge Jessica G.L. Clark laid out all these facts in two rulings she made this year on a 2023 lawsuit I brought against the Biden administration and senior officials at Pfizer for their censorship. In fact, in a ruling just last week, Clark noted that, quote, on the merits, the federal government has now conceded my claim that the Biden administration unconstitutionally violated my First Amendment rights in 2021. Yet in the same ruling, Clark still dismissed my lawsuit. That may sound impossible. A federal judge agreed my constitutional rights had apparently been violated, yet said my lawsuit over the violation could not move forward. But it's true. The Supreme Court has made it essentially impossible for me or anyone to win monetary damages for violations of their First Amendment rights by the federal government. As the law now stands, federal officials can run censorship campaigns like the one the Biden administration carried out against me with impunity. At worst, they may face an injunction, but they will never have to pay for doing so, for violating our most basic right, the right to speak freely. So it's open season for government censorship. This loophole is even more expansive and dangerous when it comes to federal efforts to jawbone, pressure, or outright threaten third parties like Twitter into silencing the speech of their users, employees, or business partners. That's true whether these third parties are legacy media companies, new social media giants, or other types of businesses. As a practical matter, users are generally not privy to the communications between federal officials and the companies, so they have no way of proving the pressure existed or that it led to their censorship. My case is exceptional because of the documents I have proving my rights were violated. Yet even so, I've been unable to obtain a remedy so far. And expecting companies to resist censorship on behalf of their users or business partners is unrealistic. My case, as well as documents the House has unearthed in its own censorship investigation, shows social media companies dislike the Biden administration's efforts to force them to censor users. Yet they had many other interests before the federal government. They viewed sacrificing speech as the price they had to pay to stay in the administration's good graces. Every company will face this calculus, whether it's a Democrat or Republican, in the White House. And social media companies are really the most important way that independent Americans, that citizens can get their speech out into the marketplace of debate. That's why there is so much pressure on them. The truth is that as the law now stands, federal officials have every reason to believe they can coerce private third parties to suppress speech. This is a powerful loophole that is no doubt enticing to politicians and officials of both parties, but it's wrong. Whether it affects Republicans or Democrats, journalists or comedians, conservatives or liberals or independents, and whether it goes by jawboning, coercion, pressure, or threats, this kind of censorship is wrong. And this committee has the chance to begin the process of fixing that wrong. I urge you to take it.
Thank you. We'll now recognize Sean Davis to deliver his opening statement.